Yo, welcome back to another video. We got a lot to talk about. Of course, I have a lot of thoughts, and this will pertain to the dinner with Tucker Carlson, Erica, and Charlie Kirk, where Erica was anti our greatest ally at the moment. And now we all know her to be a Shabbat Shalami, of course. So it's going to get real interesting. And Candace, it was brought up in Candace's video episode a couple of days ago, and we talked about this on live before, but I thought maybe we should make a separate video. That way we can chop it up in the comments about this one particular topic. And Candace revealed that she was also in Maine on an interview or for an interview with Tucker Carlson. And when her and Tucker was chopping it up afterwards, Tucker mentioned Erica's stance on our greatest ally at the time. So that's how this came about. And I am definitely taking a different approach than a lot of people. So before we get into it, make sure you guys hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the sub button. We're on the road to 22K. I appreciate all the support along the way. We are at 21.9. So come on, y'all. We can definitely do this within the next week or two. If you're also new to the channel, don't forget to drop your state, drop your country. We are adding a lot of pins in the back. I just added a few today. I should probably change the yellow string. I put a yellow string for the new ones. You could barely see it. So don't forget to add your state, add your country if you haven't already. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. So Candace again mentioned in her video that she was in Maine with doing an interview with Tucker Carlson about something else. And when her and Tucker Carlson chopped it up afterwards, she mentioned that Tucker Carlson had dinner with Erica and Charlie, and it was like the day before or something like that, relatively close. And Tucker Carlson mentioned that Erica was hardcore anti our greatest ally, right? That country in the Middle East, Philly. And it's very interesting because everybody knows Erica today as, you know, Miss Shalami herself. Seems like she is one of them in the flesh. So that is very, very, very interesting. So before I have my thoughts, I want to provide context on Candace's story. So let's take a listen to Candace really quick.
I promise you, I forgot that. I forgot that I had this. I forgot that I went up to Maine until I was looking at this Erica speech. And I was like, I know what is bothering me about this speech. What's bothering me about the speech is that when I got off air with Tucker, obviously you just have chatter, like just chatter in the air, like about everything you just discussed and what's happening and everything we said there. We're talking about Epstein. And Tucker said to me, and I'm obviously, I'm not going to get this verbatim, but he was like, yeah, he talked about a SAS speech and he just said they're like, taking money from Charlie because of this whole speech. And I was like, yeah, Charlie's kind of coming over to our side. He's really had an awakening about this. It's crazy that I forgot this, but it's the second part of what he said to me. He said, I just had dinner with him and Erica. They were just here. I think he said like last night. I kid you not. They were just there in Maine having dinner with Tucker. I remember this. I am 1000% certain. Days within me, it was like Charlie was there and then I was there. And he had dinner with Erica and he said something, which is the reason why I was happy when they announced that Erica was going to be CEO, because before we could have ever known that Charlie was going to be assassinated, as we were sitting here in Maine talking about Israel and Epstein and what the pressure that Charlie was under, Tucker was like, I absolutely love Erica. He said this publicly 1,000 times, so I'm not revealing anything here. And he was like, she is like hardcore on the anti-Israel train. And that she had gone in on dinner about everything. And that, this is who Erica was. And I was like, oh, wow. Like I actually never got to spend that kind of time with her. Like I know Charlie's coming to the other side, but I never really speak to Erica like that. And they had this dinner in the midst of all of this SAS stuff. And I happened to be in Maine. And when I look at that and I plot that on the timeline, it convinces me that Erica is a psychopath. Genuinely convinces me that Erica's a psychopath because, and please, Tucker, forgive me. I had to share that. I know you like her. I know you're a fan of Erica. I know we have different opinions and different perspectives, but this doesn't make sense. This does not make sense that Erica gets on stage and is pro-Israel, blinks and is at dinner and is anti-Israel, more anti-Israel than Tucker. I mean, than Charlie, as we're talking about all this Epstein stuff and Charlie's under pressure. And then as soon as Charlie passes away, she's up on stage with Barry Weiss saying anybody that doesn't support Israel has brain rot.
And she also allowed Ben Shapiro to open up AmFest. Like after her, obviously she opened up the whole show. But so I don't really consider, I guess she is the opening. But the opening act as I would say, the opening guest speaker was Ben Shapiro. This, hold on, what? So you were anti our greatest ally? You was anti Philly more than Charlie Kirk? But as soon as your husband dies, you flip and you have Ben Shapiro, out of all people, open up AmFest. And then not only that, he gets up there and he just completely disrespects everyone. True hate speech. If you want to know what hate speech is, go back and listen to Ben Shapiro's AmFest speech. That is hate speech to a T. And that's who Erica decided to open up this amazing event that's supposed to be fully America, right? AmFest, America first. And she allowed Ben Shapiro to get up there and spew all this hatred for Candace, for Megyn Kelly, for Tucker Carlson. But how is that possible if you was anti-Philly when your husband was alive more than Charlie? That makes zero sense.
A psychopath. That is somebody who can be someone else in every room. And we have told this story over and over again about Erica. She literally just commutes her entire personality depending on who she's in front of. Like there is no personality. It's who is the audience.
And so that was the context of the dinner that Candace brought up, saying that she forgot her and Tucker had this conversation after her interview with Tucker. And Tucker explained that. Now, I've said this before. So the ones that follow me on other platforms, especially TikTok, we yap a lot on TikTok as well. But I said this before. I don't trust Tucker Carlson. I like Tucker Carlson on a lot of things. So I'm not saying I don't like Tucker Carlson. But when it comes to this specific topic, he is quiet for a reason. The man is smart, but he plays dumb. He plays oblivious, and he is not at all. That's why he continues to bring these people on his show to interview that are on the, I would say, right side of history of this Charlie Kirk investigation, which is questioning everything because it doesn't make sense. He continues to bring these people on his show, yet he doesn't even comment. Jimmy Dore was on the show. He didn't say anything with Jimmy Dore. He let Jimmy Dore go on a 10-minute rant, laughed a couple of times. Tucker Carlson did, not Jimmy Dore. And at the end of it all, when people were like, all right, is Tucker finally going to say something? Right? Comment on what is your opinion on Jimmy Dore's rant? And Tucker Carlson closes the interview. He had Joe Kent on. All Tucker Carlson says, man, this really upsets me. And does this weird laugh. So he brings those people on for a reason. But it's weird because he is best buddies with Erica. And Candace, this is one of the first times Candace ever says something that I have been saying, which is, Tucker, I don't know how you like her. I've been saying that. Those two don't make sense together. If Tucker Carlson has a lot of questions, which he has said before on the Jimmy Dore, on Joe Kent, he says, I have a lot of questions. Nothing makes any sense. This, that, and the third. But then Erica says, stop asking questions. You're demonic if you ask questions. Tucker, she's calling you demonic then, brother. That doesn't make any sense. I don't trust Tucker Carlson one bit. He's playing both sides. He's like an advanced Megyn Kelly. They both do the same thing. And it doesn't make any sense at all because Tucker was right there. Candace is apologizing and everything because, to be honest, this makes Tucker look extremely shady, right? This does not help Tucker's case when it comes to how I feel about him, because I already felt like he was shady. The way he just never speaks on anything. He has a lot to say, right? In that Jimmy Dore interview, he had a lot to say about every topic but Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was under all of this pressure, just keeping it a buck. Charlie Kirk was under all this pressure because of Tucker Carlson. Charlie Kirk said, go Max. Tucker did. And Charlie started getting money pulled from him. And he said, it's because I won't cancel Tucker. And one of those final texts before he died, because I won't cancel Tucker. Then on top of that, the text message he was getting from that one lady, I forgot what her name is, that said, God's going to take his hand off of you. Why didn't you say something after Tucker? All of this pressure started with Tucker. So in my opinion, I would think that because, Tucker could probably feel some type of guilt, and maybe that's why he wants to keep Erica close. But again, the way Tucker's thought process is right now on the Charlie Kirk investigation, Erica calls people demonic for thinking that way. So that makes zero sense on how they're cool. Tucker gave her $5-6 million. and got canceled anyway by TPUSA. Tucker has said it on an interview before that he feels like the donors hijacked TPUSA. So he knows that it's weird things going on, but for some reason, he doesn't find Erica's behavior weird, even though he sat right in front of her at that table with Charlie Kirk and watched her be anti-Philly. And then when Charlie died, he watched her flip. How are you cool with her? That don't make any sense. Now, I'm going to let Barron have his opinion on this whole thing, but I want to put out mine first on how this all should be resolved. Tucker should be the one to come out and clarify, confirm or deny if that's true what Candace is saying. Nobody else. I'm going to spoil it right now. Barron wants TPUSA to come out, Andrew Covett. Candace, I don't know which side she wants. Tucker Carlson should be the one to come out. Stop playing both sides, bro. If Erica was anti-Philly in your face and Charlie died and she flipped in your face, you come out and verify that, confirm or deny that. Because then that would implicate Tucker as being a shady individual. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. And again, I'm saying I love Tucker Carlson. I agree with him on most things. But I'm not oblivious to the fact that your father was CIA. Your son is heavy into politics. You used to work for Fox News, so you used to get paid to push propaganda. And you knew that. You were paid to lie. Then you went independent. Then you started doing your own thing. And I respect that. But you're smart. Blake Neff, you refer Blake Neff over to Charlie Kirk? Weird. After everything Blake Neff, you knew what Blake Neff did, and you still thought Blake Neff was a great individual to put in front of a camera and with a microphone? Tucker is a smart individual. He has all this time in the world to create all these documentaries on everybody else and question all these other things. But when it comes to Charlie Kirk, for some reason, he is dead silent. So I want Tucker Carlson to come out and confirm or deny if this is true. Now, Candace sharing a private conversation, people are going to say, she should never did that. That's not her place, blah, blah. I don't really care. I don't know these people. I'm glad Tucker got outed. I'm tired of all the sneaky stuff going on. Yes. Yeah, sure, your private conversation was brought up, Tucker. Too bad. Now confirm or deny, because this is more important to Charlie's legacy, not your private conversation. Charlie's dead, so he can't speak for himself. So you come out and do something about it. Bro died sticking behind you, standing behind you. The least you can do is say, all right, my privacy was invaded a little bit, but yes, Erica was anti-Philly. Or she wasn't. Whatever it is, Candace is a liar. Say something. But that's Tucker Carlson's place, nobody else. Now I want to play Baron Coleman's part to allow y'all to see his perspective on everything.
If that's what Charlie was thinking behind the scenes, and 3 weeks before that tweet, Charlie's at a dinner with Erica and she's pushing him in that direction, that's a dark option D. That's a very dark option D. Now we have grieving innocent widow off the table. We have to start asking hard questions to Erica. Every press person in America right
I want to go back to the options, so I want y'all to hear.
right now should have a
I want y'all to hear Baron's options.
question into her with Charlie tweet. Well, name names. Can you like hold by them? You can put Charlie was thinking behind the scenes, and 3 weeks before that tweet, Charlie's at a dinner with Erica.
Maybe not. Let me just let it ride from here.
And she's pushing him in that direction. That's a dark option D. That's a very dark option D.
And just so I don't have to go back, dark option D, Baron is saying that Erica was intentionally pushing Charlie to be anti-Philly because she knew that having that position would be Charlie's demise. She knew that that would get him ultimately eliminated. So that way she could step in and be the CEO. So she knew that her connections and all that stuff, but she knew that pushing Charlie in that direction would be the downfall of Charlie. Therefore, there's an extreme motive of Charlie, of her pushing Charlie to be anti-Philly. So that's the dark option D, is that Erica pushed him that way on purpose.
Now we have grieving innocent widow off the table. We have to start asking hard questions to Erica. Every press person in America right now should have a question into Turning Point USA. Miss Kirk, is that accurate? Did that conversation happen? That don't
See, I'm going the opposite way. Not the media, not TPUSA, Tucker Carlson. I have a question for you. Did that happen? Yes or no? Nobody else. Not Andrew Colbert, not the media. The press don't care. They never cared. Tucker Carlson, I need you to answer, brother, because this is going to expose you for who you are. And I already know he's not going to respond at all. Now, I want to know what y'all are going to say once y'all realize that he's not going to respond. What does that mean for y'all's viewpoint on Tucker Carlson? Because I already have my opinions. But this question is for Tucker Carlson, nobody else.
Don't troll the trolls, Andrew and Blake. This is not the time to troll the trolls. This is the time for a direct answer. Yes, she did say it. No, she didn't say it. And I think...
And it's that simple for Tucker Carlson. Yes, he did say it. No, she didn't say it. Or yes, she did say it. No, she didn't say it. Nobody else. I don't want nobody else to get involved. Everybody is requesting Turning Point USA to do a million things, and they don't reply. So Andrew wasn't there. It was Charlie, Erica, Tucker. Erica's not going to reply or respond. Andrew can probably just lie. He wasn't even there. Tucker Carlson. Charlie's no longer here. Tucker Carlson, this is for you. And I know everybody wants to interview with Tucker Carlson. Nobody wants to be on Tucker Carlson's bad side. I don't care. I'm an average Joe. So I don't care. I know I ain't going to ever be up there in that space. Barron probably wants to interview with Tucker Carlson. So you don't want to really put Tucker Carlson to the fire. I want to hold Tucker Carlson to the fire. This question is directly for you, Tucker Carlson. Did this happen? Yes or no?
Until we get that question resolved, the ball bounces in favor of Candace Owens right now. You have to take her at face value. Every second that passes without TPUSA issuing a denial, you have to assume that Tucker was telling the truth and Candace was telling the truth.
And every second that passes of Tucker Carlson not issuing a denial, then you have to assume Candace is telling the truth and Tucker is a fed. Tucker is a fence sitter. Tucker is playing both sides. You have to acknowledge that if Tucker, I don't think y'all, like, he's talking about how dark it is for Erica to push Charlie in that direction. Sure, that could be a dark thing. For one, I don't even want to give Erica that much credit. I don't think she's that much of a genius to come up with this whole elaborate plan that I'm going to pretend to be anti-Israel and push Charlie there because I know that's going to get him killed. I don't even want to think that far. I think Erica was just a pick-me. If you go look at all her interviews with Charlie when they was together and stuff like that, she just wanted to say whatever Charlie wanted to hear. Whatever he wanted to hear, Erica was all for it. So if Charlie had questions about it, Erica probably was just there. Yeah, you're right, honey. You're right, babe. You're right. I don't really think it was this whole plan. I think she wanted to just stay on his good side because he was her assignment. Now, if she was that much of a genius, maybe. But I just think she was a pick-me. And her job was just to keep him satisfied, happy, and busy, to not really think about what's actually going on around him. That's just my opinion. But the question is for Tucker Carlson. Again, every day that goes by and Tucker does not reply, Tucker is playing both sides. Tucker is playing both sides. He watched Erica be anti-Philly in Charlie's face and in his face. Charlie died. She is now pro-Philly, and he's not even saying nothing about it. He don't find that crazy at all. Matter of fact, he gave her $5-6 million after Charlie died. Right. And maybe she wasn't pro-Philly that soon, but it became very obvious and evident that she was pro-Philly not too long after that. So for him to still say, I love her, she's great, all these things, while knowing that you, out of all people, know you watched her flip on her dead husband in your face. Yeah. So the fire is on Tucker Carlson, nobody else.
And every single pro TPUSA Fed slopper, every one of them on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on podcast, every one of them has to now cover the story in the context of that statement. They all do. Did Erica do that? Did she say those things? Was she promoting anti-Israel statements at dinner in July with Charlie? Was she pushing him that direction? That's a compound question, but take the second question off the table. Did she say those words? Second question, was she pushing him in that direction? Was that the only time she made those comments? And if the answer to that question is yes, she's wholly unqualified to be the TPUSA CEO. She needs to be removed immediately. Immediately. Not because of anti-Semitism, but because of blatant dishonesty and potential complicitness in his death. Nobody can ignore that statement she made Friday. I don't know why it hasn't gotten more play. Nobody.
Yeah, and again, I'm gonna reiterate 1,000 times. Tucker Carlson should be the one to come out and say something and address it. Nobody else, because we can't expect anybody else to do so. We can't expect the media to care. There have been far more crazy things to where the media should have addressed and put out there and wrote articles about that hasn't happened. So there's no way that we should expect the media to say, "Oh, Erica had a dinner with Tucker Carlson, and this is what she said," and that doesn't do anything. Obviously, yes, I get the bigger picture. There does provide motive. There does provide several different things with this position that she was holding and all for in favor of at that dinner. Yes, but the media isn't going to care. They haven't even cared about Andrew Kovac saying that the medical examiner found a bullet right beneath the skin. And that was a lie. And the media hasn't cared about that. The media hasn't cared about the Superman neck. The media hasn't cared about anything. So I don't want to hold these, it just doesn't make sense to hold the media to the fire, to hold TPUSA to the fire. TPUSA is not going to address this. The media is not going to address this. Tucker Carlson should, though, if he's such an independent person. I don't think he ever will. So I just want everybody, whatever feelings everybody has about TPUSA and the media about this one particular topic and saying, oh, why my camera doing that? If the media doesn't respond soon, if Tucker Carlson doesn't respond soon, then something's up and all of that. Well, however you feel about the media and TPUSA, if they were to not respond, is exactly how you should feel about Tucker Carlson if he doesn't respond. Because it's just odd. It's odd. But I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I think that Tucker Carlson is in the hot seat. I think he's slowly becoming, he's slowly being exposed for being a fence sitter and knowing more than he puts out. And it's very telling on how he has all these interviews, but he never has anything to say. I know a lot of people are like, oh, he's going to say something eventually. He's going to come out eventually. Oh, he's keeping his enemies closer. Bro, Tucker has talked about loving Erica so much. So much. I don't believe Tucker Carlson is getting information from Erica and is going to flip on Erica. He would be the biggest villain ever, and Tucker Carlson doesn't want to be a villain. He will be the biggest villain of 2026 if he were to keep Erica close, get all this information just to flip on Erica and say, nope, this was her. She did this to Tucker is not going to do that. I think a lot of people give these people way too much wiggle room and grace. Prove to me that you can be trusted. Then I'll give you grace. But right now, Tucker Carlson hasn't done that. You've brought people on your show, but you haven't proven that you're going max, which is what Charlie said. You haven't done that. You've been very silent. You haven't wanted to say much. And now you have the biggest op in this whole story, which is his wife, as your buddy best friend. And now we know this information that you know she's shady. You know she flipped. but you still defend her. It's weird, man, but it's a tough conversation because I know a lot of people love Tucker. And I want to just say again, I love Tucker majority of the time. This topic right here, though, ain't cutting it. Something's off. Let me know what y'all think. Hit the like button before y'all get out of here. Hit the sub button. If you're new, we on the road to 22K. I appreciate all the support along the way. And I will see y'all on the next one.